Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our all-star panel here as we discuss Married at First Sight. Yo, Glenn from Jack and Glenn. Then I also have Artik and Tommy from August Love Story. What's up, ladies and gents? How y'all doing today?
We're all right. How about yourself?
Doing I had Tommy, he disappeared. I'm just kidding. Doing well. Can't complain. Can't complain at all. It's all great, man. It's great. We got a lot to talk about. This episode of Married at First Sight was like, wow, right? Had a lot to got a lot to discuss. We saw people we see people in we had decision day early. We got people who get mad. We got people who ain't calling people back. We got people that's lying in our face. It got this Married at First Sight got everything. Everything that we talking about. Hey, let's get to it this way. Let me give you your thoughts on Michelle and Madison's first encounter after the revelation of she's cheating with her man.
Uh, I don't know what happened there.
Tommy didn't see that part. David was definitely coming to save his woman from his wife. He every time Michelle asked a question, he was like, don't ask her that. I'm like, dang, man, if everything was innocent and everything was on the up and up, she could answer those questions and you wouldn't have to intervene.
What was she asking?
I don't even remember what
It was just a simple question like what's going on, what's happening, why did this happen? And it's just simple things that he interjected himself. Like, first of all, I thought she should have closed the door when her and Madison was talking, right? Mm-hmm. And David didn't have to keep
the bathroom.
Yeah.
It was the bathroom. Close the door. The camera can't go in anyway. They can hear you because you're mic'd up. But like David, go down the hall. That shows you he had no boundaries when it came to women, right? Like, let these women talk. And we learn, men, don't interject yourself in women conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we kept interjecting himself in this conversation, and you couldn't get the answers that you wanted to get because everybody kept cutting somebody off.
Mm.
He kept interjecting. Like, he asking her a question. Like, Michelle wanted to get down to the nitty gritty. Her detective work wasn't done.
She wanted to know if they did it.
Right, but the question, see, and that's the theme throughout the whole episode. Like, everybody kept asking a question, but nobody, Michelle, they getting no answers. So David kept interjecting in this. So it was crazy.
Yeah,
I interjected, but like I said, I think we talked about it last week. Michelle really doesn't care; she just wants to be right.
Mm-hmm. Michelle never liked David. It's kind of like the conversation with Thomas. Is this about the marriage? I mean, the cheating, or is this about something else? It's definitely because you didn't like him, and you have to figure out a way for this to, I guess, of sorts, vindicate him, like vindicate her. Like, these are isolated incidents. I feel like she's looking at it like, I acted this way because of this. I've always known. And it's totally separate things. Like, you could be a butthole and know, and you could be a butthole and not know. You were both.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's all I got for that part.
But how do you think? I mean, Madison kept playing like she didn't know why Michelle was mad. Like, she played stupid.
She plays that role well.
Like, what are you talking about? Why are you mad?
Right.
Like, can you be that dumb? Even though she does not like him, we all know she don't like him. Mm-hmm. It's not that the fact is David. It's the fact that you said you were this girl's friend. You said, and that's her technically on paper, right? Mm-hmm. It's still her husband.
That's all it is that this is her friend. And so she doesn't want to look bad to everybody because this was just supposed to happen. Like, afterwards, she wasn't supposed to be close to Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just going to be a situation of, oh, I ran into David. We used to work out all the time and we just kept that up.
Mm-hmm. One thing led to another, and
we're in a relationship.
Which is fine for it to happen. I think that's fine for it to happen, but it's just the timing of things.
If it actually happened that way.
Yeah. The timing of things can't happen that way. Just because it's like, all right, like it's like, even let's take a step back. Even with people being boyfriend and girlfriends.
Mm-hmm.
Most people that know each other and know that you're in a relationship with another person
Mm-hmm.
will respect that relationship until it's over.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Once it's over, it's like, all right, man, my turn.
Yeah.
Type.
Yeah.
Then sometimes when a person doesn't care about the other person, then the line is stepped, but the line is drawn there because there's a some type of relationship. Um, it's hard for me to even piece the right and wrong
Mm-hmm.
just because of being in the relationship where if they had the choice, they would have said no from where they were.
Mm-hmm.
They would have been like, nah, I'm not gonna be in this relationship because
I'm
they didn't
wondering
want to
though,
be.
how do you continue to make good TV and be honest with Allan? Because that's the only
Um,
person that I feel like.
you can't. I don't think you can make good TV and still. Well, I mean, like you can make good TV, but the honesty part comes from it says, I don't like you, but let's hang out.
Mm-hmm.
And lean into hanging out with him because like that's who your person's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. I look at past seasons. One couple that sticks out that we knew wasn't gonna make it very early on, but they stuck it through and were able to at least have a decent time together was Gina and Clint.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I even think about like with like how they, became friends. I think he still watched the dog after the show and stuff like
Yeah.
Mhm.
that.
Was it his dog or her
No,
dog?
it
It
was.
was, it was her dog. It was her dog.
Yeah. So it's like, man, that's the only way you can do it. But the thing about Madison though, it was she didn't think he was pretty thing
Mhm.
because she didn't know him enough to be like, oh, he's a hole. She just didn't think he was pretty.
Mhm.
You know,
And none of the things that he had made her be able to overlook that.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. People that work out or into their health and stuff like that,
Mhm.
they love to see other people get into it.
Hmm.
Like I have yet to meet a person who consistently works out, who consistently pays attention to what they're eating and everything like that.
Mhm.
That be like, well, I ain't gonna talk to you about what I do.
No,
Like,
everybody they love people. They love to work out with people.
right,
Workout, workout people love workout people.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. And they love to talk to people that are wanting to work out. Like I realized how much I talk to people about health stuff, like
Mhm.
eating right and exercising
Yeah,
and
you bring it up in conversation when it has nothing to do with the
has absolutely nothing to do.
conversation.
But it's like for me, it's like I'm starting to see changes. And I'm like, shoot, man, that's a celebration for me. Like you need to get on it too, type of thing. But and for him to say, all right, I'm gonna start working out. I was like, I found it weird that she once I thought about it, that she didn't talk about that with him. Like
Because
that wasn't a thing that she tried to do.
I don't think he was consistent enough. I think he did it a couple times and he wasn't going when she was going. Remember, their schedules were different.
Yeah.
He started working out on his own, so he wasn't working out with her. And I think that where it tripped him up. If he was working out with her, guess what? David wasn't gonna work out with her because you down there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
That's
see what I'm
true.
saying? So if
I
you
thought
working
that
out
was
with her and David can't block, they can't have their little gym dates.
What if
If
the
you
plot twist is she and David were never in the gym?
maybe
okay.
that might look could be the case. They might have been working out other places,
Mm-hmm.
as Meredith side alluded to later on,
Doing other exercises.
doing
Mm-hmm.
other exercises.
Say stretches were a little bit different.
Right, just a little bit different. Just a little bit different, man.
Just a tad bit.
Just a tad bit. We'll go there because again, Married at First Sight, messy. They show clips of her coming in at 153, clips of David coming at 153, clips
Mm-hmm.
of her coming in at 2 o'clock, David coming at 2 o'clock, 3:45. She opening her door, David opened his door at 3:45. These ain't coincidences, you know what I'm saying? they knew this, and they allowed this to continue to happen because again, it makes good TV.
Yeah. Yeah.
It makes good TV, and nobody was the wiser that these two are hanging out. My question was, my question was, how David get off of work?
Yeah,
he always
that's a
kept
great
saying,
question.
I couldn't get off of work. Can't get off work.
I
He
didn't ever think about that. Never
Yeah.
thought about that.
Makes you wonder, does he even still have this second job?
Did he even have the job in the first place?
No, he had the job in
Yeah,
the first
job.
place.
He keep getting off work early to hang out with Matt, or she's staying up late, waiting for him to get off of work.
Or she was going to, because it was a bar, right?
They went to Velvet Tacos.
I don't know what that's a restaurant.
Mhm.
Yeah, taco. Yeah.
But he works at a bar though, right? At night.
No,
I don't know where he works at.
Oh, I don't know, man. They was meeting. They was going out with each other. Put it to you like that, because that's too much of a coincidence. Stay in the same building, come in at the same time, the exact same time. Y'all just saw each other.
we got a Velvet Taco place here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need to go see if it's actually as
Yeah,
as good as she be trying to make it out to be.
She like tacos. And apparently
Yeah.
like tacos too. What type of tacos are we talking about?
I don't know, but they Married at First Sight made a big point that remember she said Allan asked the question, what do you like? What happens after sex? She's like, well, I like to eat tacos. Well, all the time they go and eat tacos.
Man.
They went and ate tacos a lot.
Well, he wanted to eat it. He wanted to eat a taco. He wanted to eat it up. He wanted to eat up a taco. That's what he said.
I wouldn't mind some tacos today. Like the actual. Anyway.
No taco was good.
Man, I just think at this point, why lie? You know,
They've been lying so long, they just got to keep the lie going.
like we obviously know she's terrible at it, because she, like, when the question, like, if you want to know the truth, when they were sitting down with the experts, all I would do is I'll see the question that is asked and I look at Madison's face. Because Madison's face says yay or nay, especially when David was
outright gets upset.
Yeah.
David too, though. David kept saying, well, you believe what you want to believe.
Yeah, when he said that, it's like.
And then Pastor Cass said, every time you get caught, you can believe what you want to believe. Seemed like you got caught this time.
I don't know why they didn't come clean neither. But here's my question to you guys: why did who punked Madison to tell the truth in the first place? Like, take that to your grave, or take that for 8 weeks. You got 7 days left, right?
Yeah.
You got 7 days left. Why do you even tell anyway? Like, why do you even go to David and ask the question? Why are we even at this point? If y'all hung on this long, you couldn't hang on for another 7 days.
What? It was David's fault. If David didn't try to send that text message, nobody would have even questioned it. But they gathered together to say, deny until we can't no more.
Jay was like, all right, so you told me and you're mic'd up. We got to do it. Come on.
Tell the truth. Shame the devil.
But if you're mic'd up, we just got to do it. Come on, let's go do it. You're a big girl.
You're a big girl. And she's like, well, you know, I didn't think we was doing anything wrong. How you didn't think you were doing something? That's the thing I got. We didn't talk about this last week. How do you didn't think you was doing something wrong by going out with another dude? Y'all exchanging numbers. And like Pastor Cal said, or Dr. Pepper said, for him to send that text message, you look so darn good, I want to eat you up. This is not the first time y'all done had some sexual conversations. Right. You don't just send that message out of the blue the first time.
Across the table.
Yeah. Right. While her man is sitting there or whatever in the club talking about, oh, darn, you look good, I want to eat you up.
Yeah, that's a
which here it is, which lets you know Allan had to be there, because if they was hanging out, he would have never had to send a text message. He would have whispered that in her ear. That means Allan had to be in the building, in the place when he sent the text message.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Man, the crazy part is when you look at the whole entire, because they was like, well, what stopped y'all from having sex? They are married. GTOL.
What they decided was, we're going to admit up until this point. Everything that happened after this point, meaning kissing, hugging, squeezing, touching,
Man,
none of that is gonna come out. But everything before that, whatever.
man, that it was just wild to like actually hear them like I'm a good person is what she said, which most of the time means you did some messed up stuff. Her saying that she didn't see what it was, she didn't see anything wrong, or what did they do wrong, or something like that. I was
I
like,
can't remember.
you trying to hide the truth proves that you think you did something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
Yes,
whole issue with
Because
everything.
if I did nothing wrong, my text thread would still be there.
Right. You deleted the whole thing.
She ain't had time to go through and search the messages to make sure he ain't say nothing
Right.
inappropriate.
But she
She was just
did
like,
though.
the whole thing's
That's how you know
gone.
she panicked because she was like, here, you can look through my phone. I'll let you look through my phone. Why did you do that? And you knew y'all had been talking about what y'all just been doing.
I would have went through and deleted every message
I never
that
would have
did
said you
not
can look in
say.
my phone.
No, if I was gonna volunteer that, I would have deleted every message that wasn't Tuesday at 9.
Yeah.
I
That's right.
got a meeting on Monday. Can we meet at 5 instead?
Yeah.
It would have been messages like that. It
Yeah.
might not even have responses to them.
It's just it's super weird that you know they lied through the whole thing, and it's like, man, we see through the lie,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And she still hadn't talked to Allan. Well, at this point, Allan was like, I don't want you to talk to me. And I'm like, that conversation is gonna be very hard.
They're not gonna have a real conversation.
they're not
I'm
having a real
gonna have a
conversation.
mediator.
It's
I
not gonna
think
be a real conversation because she's not going to tell the truth.
that part right there, Artika, that part
Yeah.
right there, she's not gonna tell the truth. She's not gonna be like, oh, by on the week of the honeymoon or a week when we got back to Chicago the night that I went out with my friends. I hung out. They had a whole separate life. If you really peep this episode,
Mhm.
they had a whole separate life, David and Madison, that no one knew about. Right?
Yeah.
If their
Yeah.
personal friends knew, they would hang out. When David talked to his friend wasn't surprised. I was messing with the other wives. Tommy, if you tell one of your friends, yo, I'm messing with another wife, they can be like, who, what, where,
Right.
what, who is she? That conversation, he didn't ask no question. He was not surprised. It was like, okay, we need to film this. Him talking to somebody.
It was
Call
just
somebody.
like, what?
Right.
They friends are
What?
trash, by the way. Like both of their
Right.
friends are trash.
And so you see her friend Amanda. Amanda knows because Amanda knows everything. Like, I'm talking to David, blah, blah, blah. Her friend didn't even tell her, like, hey, man, you may not want to do that. Wait till the 8 weeks is over or whatever case me. And that was like, that's how I know that they were involved with each other much deeper than they say. Because you hanging out, when you try to keep it a secret, you're not hanging out with people. Right, y'all gonna keep it to your little gym date, maybe his apartment. Hey, Michelle there? Nah, man, Michelle want to stay in her own apartment. All right, y'all filming today? Nah, we got an off day. All right, I'm coming up there. You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff, right? But y'all hanging out because David, the little clips they said, oh yeah, I hung out with Madison and her cousin. We watched a football game. Like, you did what?
Yeah, I saw that.
Like you're making a whole life out of this thing,
right?
And here's Michelle's dumb butt, because I blame Michelle in part of this too. You don't care about him so much that you're not even asking questions where you're at. What are you doing?
Because she don't care.
Because she didn't care. That's why them questions, like David, can be caught so much more because David set it up perfectly. Though I work at night. If Michelle cared to be in that relationship and try, there's an accountability of his whereabouts and conversations to be had between them. And those conversations would be, oh, you're off today. Let's hang out type of thing.
Let me watch the football game with you.
Right.
You going with your friends to watch the game? Well, let me go with you. See, she didn't try to be with him. Allan, and I blame Allan too, because Michelle, when Madison was like, I'm going out tonight with Amanda. Okay, let me go.
Yeah.
Let me hang out
The
too.
one time that he did try to go out with them or with her and her friends was the night that she tried to accuse him of driving drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Which probably a smoke screen to get him mad so he can go home, so I can go creep.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got a creep now. I can just willingly go.
Right.
I just willingly go now because he gone, right? So it becomes that when you start looking at this thing, you start like, you know what? They really played a chess game when everybody else was playing checkers.
Mm-hmm.
They did this around for them to be able to cheat and to get this relationship around people, around the other couples, and no one have any suspicion, or they had suspicion, don't know for sure. I mean, Allan has suspicion because every time David walked in a room, she got hugged. I told my wife, I said, in this episode, I've seen David get more hugs from Madison than I did in any episode of Married at First Sight.
That door, did you?
I saw that.
Did you?
That
I,
dude got hugged every time she walked in a room. He was getting a hug, and I'm sitting there like, dang. Allan couldn't get no hugs, no love, no kisses, no nothing. And David gets nice long hugs. As a matter of fact, David will climb up in the bed with you like it ain't the first time. He felt too comfortable.
He did. He did. David sure did.
In
get
her
that bed.
marital bed. Because her
Right.
husband had slept in that bed the night before.
And her husband wasn't that no more. He like so it just that whole like that it bothers me now. I understand why it happens on David's end. I don't truly understand Madison's end. Somebody should have stepped up and said, "Hey, let's just hold off. We know we gonna say no," or even just be like, "Hey, experts, this ain't working for me. I want to pursue something else," and be real with the experts. Because I think it's taken better if you're real with the experts.
Yeah.
You
But
know,
when you're selfish, Tommy, because they thought about self. They didn't
Yeah.
think about the other. They didn't
How
think about the
the
spouse.
would have gone if they had literally had this conversation. Hey, we like each other. We're gonna have to tell our spouses.
I think they still would have because of it's a show thing, right? That's two couples down. MM and Casey was doing their thing.
It took us way too long to get a
So
no out of them.
So now they're down to two couples. Yeah, they would have continued on to follow them to see if it, if it worked because they need the storyline.
Would
They
have been
followed
down to
Allan.
Juan and Carla. Would have been down to Juan and Carla and Camille and Thomas. That's what would have been down to.
Fab Four.
Yeah.
Right. But if Artica, to your point, if Michelle would have set them down when she first had inclination, or if David and Madison would have came and said, you know what, Allan, Michelle, we're feeling this way, what do you think would have happened?
Say it again.
If all four of them would have met early on in the season saying, you know what, hey, I like David, David likes me, we're not cheating on each other, we haven't done anything, we just got feelings for each other. If they would have been honest before the text message, right? The text message really blew everything up because Michelle knew it wasn't for her, right? And David don't know how to lie. David could have said, you know what, I would try to shoot my shot at you, Michelle. I apologize. He just made up some dumb lie, right? Stupid lie. All right.
I think,
but if these couples would have met, these four would have met prior to the text message and say, you know what, I'm having feelings for Madison having feelings for me. Boom. What do we do?
I think Allan still would come out the same way, but I think the three of them would focus on trying to make Allan feel better in a way that, hey man, it's nothing against you.
It'll be like the ending of what was that, Nashville, when they started focusing on heirs going on dates.
Yeah, that's what it'd have been exactly. It'd have been a very it'd have been a better outcome between the four people, and we wouldn't be we definitely wouldn't be talking about it. We'd be the shock of, oh, they said it. That would have been the most adult thing that they could do, but they took it the wrong way, like by trying to lie about everything, and then after he sent the text message and made a mistake, like you pretty much, it's like somebody catching you in the middle of the act.
Yeah.
How do you lie and I saw you do it? Unless you like the people, them cops from '92, they got off for beating Rodney King.
Yeah,
Like
Not
we saw
right.
you in the act of doing it, and like that's that it's the for them to sit down and say, hey, this is what's going on. Um, you know, there's no coming back from it. That's one thing for
no.
sure.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, I don't think anybody is torn the way they are. Like I don't think Allan is super hurt the way he is because he asked her to do that.
And I think Michelle would have been a little bit more open too. We would have really seen if Michelle was trying, if they would have came out clean,
Right. That would have
if,
proved
if
that
she
would
was
have
really going to fight for
proved.
her marriage,
But I
right?
don't think she would have. Well, she wouldn't have cared.
That's what I'm saying. We all know she don't care. She cared the fact that she cared because he did something to her. She don't
Mm-hmm.
care about David or Madison. Her ego was bruised, or not want to say her ego. I want to say the fact that he liked somebody else and didn't like her.
Yeah.
And then Pastor Cal to be
Always
slapped.
said that Madison was his type.
Yeah.
Yeah. She always said Madison was her type. I think she was jealous. I think she had some insecurities for Madison from day one.
Hmm.
That she was like when David, if you go back to the scene when David said, "Oh, me and Madison was in the gym," she was like, "Oh, you and Madison?" Like she had something about Madison from day one.
Mm-hmm.
But then remember, she said, "I don't think Madison would like him." Wrong.
And
Yeah.
it feels different now that it's like, oh, they sneaking around with each other.
Yeah.
Right.
Does like him.
She is
Now
digging
she's
him
like,
a little bit.
you not my friend.
Right. But
I'm
you
taking
didn't
my
listen
ball
to
and going home.
that. I'm taking my. Hey, here's a question I asked for you guys. We see, you know, I think people talk about David a lot when we talk about this because of the text message. How much blame do you put on Madison?
All of it.
Just as much, equal.
Yeah. It's we do talk about David because David did the dumb thing.
Mm-hmm.
We don't talk about Madison as much, but she holds just as much the blame as David does. In my book, because she's quiet about stuff. She still can deny everything.
She don't know how to lie, so that's why she's quiet about
Right.
stuff.
But for David, it's like David made up a lie about what was the first about the food? I was talking to my cousin.
Enlisted his cousin Denise, who then gets to Michelle and is like, don't put me in this.
So Denise knew something that we didn't know when Michelle talked to her a few episodes ago. And then he comes up with a whole story about a girl named Tiffany, which I said if the girl Tiffany was real, if that was the truth behind everything, we wouldn't have anything to say. If Tiffany was an available female, that conversation we'll be talking about something different this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. He could have went to the donut girl. Hey, like, I need you to send me a text because I brought you donuts the other day as if we was having a conversation. Because you already told her I bring this girl donuts. So you could have with the donut girl, but you made up some other random girl.
And couldn't back it up. And
could have been Tinder girl.
Right. He could have just told the truth and just used another girl.
Mm-hmm.
And then she asked for a picture. Come up with a picture. Tell somebody, hey,
save somebody else in your phone as cousin Denise.
Not even do that. Just save him as Tiffany and like this is what she sent me.
Change the name. Change the name of old conversations. In so many ways he could have did it. Not that we're justifying the behavior, nor right, but in so many ways that he could have done this to alleviate, to keep him and Madison's relationship secret, right?
But he
kind of forced her because David, based off what we saw, David's actions, David was going to take this to the grave.
Yeah,
Madison was the one that brought this thing out because she couldn't handle the pressure because she cared about what everybody likes about her.
Yeah,
what everybody says about it. You know,
that's the thing. That's what like it's like I've used this example last week, but the first 48, man, you ask enough questions, she gonna crack.
Yeah.
And for David, it's more of a let me take the force of everything because they can believe what they want to. He done sat up here and lied to a preacher, lied to a therapist. Lied to
two therapists,
two therapists.
Two therapists.
Like, who lies to preachers?
and your wife.
And
A lot
your
of
wife.
people lie to preachers.
You'd be surprised. A lot of people lie to preachers.
Say, by the way, a lot of people lie to preachers.
I'm just saying, man.
A lot of people lie to preachers.
Why you gotta lie to the preacher, man? You can pull him aside, and be like, look,
Man to man.
man to
I'm
man.
gonna ask you guys a controversial question because I've been on a couple panels and we just talked about this and we move on. How much blame do you blame Allan for his own, for not for her cheating, but for not seeing the signs and not recognizing and not saying something or not stepping up? How much blame put on Allan on this?
You want me to go?
You can go.
I don't blame Allan for anything. Allan put his foot at everything he had into it, and that's how you make marriages work. If I'm sitting up here concerned with the idea that she may or may not be cheating on me, I can't fully put myself in that. Now, I think if the idea, because personally, I don't think the idea ever came up in his head that she's out here dealing with somebody else.
I'm hanging out with.
Right. I ain't even gonna say specifically to David that the idea that she's out here with somebody else. I don't think that came up in his head personally. I think it might have, a thought might have came in there and then immediately left, but he put everything he had into it to see if this thing could work. So I'm not gonna put any blame on him just because he's a victim, honestly.
I think the biggest issue was that he was being lied to and manipulated by her, and he wasn't doing anything for that. Like I want to kiss if I win this, and then you didn't say where you wanted to kiss it. He was going purely by her words and not by her actions. That's where his blame comes in.
That's where his mistake was.
Yeah, like
I think blame is a harsh word.
Yeah. Okay.
If we could find another verb to put there.
Is
it a verb or an adverb? I ain't that good
I don't know.
At the language arts.
What did he say? Allan's situation reinforces the concept that begging after women doesn't work. Stop changing for a woman and just change the woman you're dealing with. In his case, he definitely should not have been with her, but that's the issue when you do a show like Married at First Sight. You get what you get.
You're kind of here for 8 weeks until.
But I definitely think that his biggest issue was taking what she said taking what she said as face value and not looking at her actions. Because there's no way that you thought that this person wanted to be with you. Because every time he brought up decision day, she changed the conversation. Every time he brought up things that she was doing or questions to try to figure out, like check the temperature between them, she'd be like, do you really want to do this right now?
Like that's the only part I would say Allan should have done differently, is that when been more adamant about the questions that forces her to answer the relationship question. Like when they asked about the kiss, he should have said something like, I want to kiss on the lips.
Now we go back to the beginning. He should have said something starting day one after the honeymoon.
What happened?
When she went out.
Yeah, he definitely should have. When they came back home, yeah, he should have. That shouldn't have been I was concerned. That should be.
No, you're not going with them.
No, absolutely not. This is the first night. No.
In our home.
Or let's all go. I'll go too.
You gonna stay here and you gonna listen to me.
It's like that's the only thing, but that's that thing that we talked about too, is him trying to walk on eggshells too much. Man, you gotta crack some of them eggs, man. You can't, but that's with the whole situation. Like you have to crack some eggs to get the answer that you need.
Yeah.
Because you crack an egg, a fried egg is good, scrambled eggs is good, boiled.
Eggs cost $30 a dozen.
Poaching eggs ain't that good. But
no, the egg expensive.
Right.
I need to get some chickens.
I think about it, but I be like, who gonna go out there and feed them chickens?
Yeah, but
Man, they eat chickens, eat anything.
I think Allen, if he was more demanding of the conversations to have, I think
Mhm.
that kind of would have opened the door a little bit more. And then based off of having those conversations, he probably the idea of she stepping out on him probably would have came up.
Mhm.
You know.
You asked for another word than blame, and I don't want to say blame neither. I want to say that Allen should have been more aware
Yeah.
of what was going on in his home.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And when you're not aware of what goes on in your home, because in 8 weeks it creates enough time to create a person's routine, right? It gives you
Hmm.
enough time to give you to ideally what time they get off of work, what time they go to work, what time were they their routine in the morning, and he should have been able to pick up off her routine as something different. Um, the routine of even when like I agree with you guys on the first time, like you
Mm.
hanging out with your girlfriend, my dude just died. He should have picked up. Remember, his friend just died. So he was
Mhm.
already in some type of way, and she didn't want to show compassion. He should have picked up there, like, hold on, this ain't no compassionate chick.
Yeah.
Like she's not giving me what I'm looking for. He should have picked up when she kept going out. Hey, can I go out with you? Right? And that would have helped out some things. Let me hang out with your friends. And he could have said it in a slick way. I need to know your friends so we can be friends, right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm supposed to be in this relationship. Um, I said earlier, hey, you work out in the morning, cool. Let me go out and work out with you. Let me find to do something that you like so we can get our body together. See, I don't want to blame her for her cheating, but there's some things, the preventative measures that Allen could have put in place that could have prevented this from happening. All right.
Yep.
And in this situation, um, and I know somebody can say, well, if somebody want to cheat, they're gonna cheat anyway. Well, it makes them that if somebody want to break your house, they break your house, but you still got an alarm system, right?
Mhm.
There's
Mm.
some things you can do to prevent some things from happening in your relationship. There's some things you can do um uh to build up trust, right? Because again, you don't know this person, they don't know you,
Right.
right? But you got to be able to build this trust up in this relationship. I got who was it? I think my man Justin, like, Alexis, you going out too much. I'm going with you, or you ain't going. Right? I'm gonna be here when you get mad. When he come back, right? So it becomes those type of situations. Oh, you going out with David again, man? Y'all went out last couple of nights. Or you going out with Juan and Carla? You start asking those questions, it starts scaring people,
Yeah.
right?
Maybe even an ADT alarm system.
Hey, I used to sell ADT systems, man. I used to look back in the day. I used to sell ADT. Checks were kind of nice, man. But yeah, well, you're a salesperson, though. You be hustling.
Yeah.
But so I don't want to say blame, and neither do I want to blame Michelle. But there's some things that Allen could have put in place that could have alleviated and made Madison even have a second thought or guess, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
About doing what her and David is doing.
Yeah. Because once David came into you know, came into the picture, man, Allen didn't have a shot.
No.
Because the conversations was different. They talking about what they don't like in their current relationship.
And if I
Um,
was your man, I wouldn't be doing
right.
Right.
Type of thing. But the issue that I have with the whole thing is you didn't tell Allen anything.
this. Mm-mm.
You were saying you basically was telling Allen, I don't like you, but we can go out and play.
It was a whole lot of, well, if you just change this, then maybe I would find this
You
attractive.
know, Laura Winslow didn't start liking Steve Urkel until
He became
It's
Stefan
Stephon.
Stefan.
Urkel came
Yeah.
into the picture. Then Stefan went away, and now she's in love with Steve.
Mm-hmm.
That's truly the effect of things.
And Palmyra.
Myra.
Oh, poor Myra.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Poor
So
Myra. So, I mean, don't blame Allen, but I think just saying Allen should have been more aware and there's some things he could have put in place to maneuver. And I don't want to say check your boo, check your boo, but could have put a more of a foot down with Madison and not let her be free. She would come and go as she pleased. Let's be
mm,
honest.
like
It was,
you have to say something
but
to her. Like you have to be willing to argue sometimes because
yeah,
if you okay, you coming to 1 o'clock one night. All right, you was out with your friends, but you do this 3 nights in a row.
Mhm.
we got an issue.
And then it's looking like that didn't happen.
And then
That-
you know it is because he's sleeping on the couch waiting on you.
Like, you don't want to be with me? Those are the kind of question. Like, hold up, you don't want to be with me? Like, you gotta set boundaries. That's what I want. That's the word I'm looking for. You have to set boundaries in your relationship, in your marriage. And Allan never set any boundaries in their marriage.
And in addition to setting those boundaries, I felt like he had to stop letting her wiggle her way out of the hard questions.
Yeah, that's
Right.
Because anytime he asked a specific question, she would be like, no, we're not going to talk about that right now, are we? You're going to mess up today? But we know that David is also very charming because he charmed Juan. Juan's first conflict with his wife was because of David.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
David took Juan out on a date, man. Charmed the pants off of him.
And then Juan was like, Carla, who?
Right. I forgot you was here. Got to be more careful.
Yes.
Not to be more careful. David wooing the men and the women.
Yeah.
Hey, before we leave on Madison and Allan,
I didn't even know we was talking about them.
we were talking about, look, we went all we talked about that whole,
We're talking about everybody.
we talking about all that whole relationship, Madison, Allan, David, and Michelle. Allan,
that's true, Hubert.
Men only have power in relationships when they have the ability to walk away. Allan has no boundaries and wasn't willing to walk away from bad behavior.
Well, he wasn't willing to walk away because his friend said he was a people pleaser. See, you can't be that's a whole different conversation. You can't be a people pleaser in some marriages. In marriages, there's some you gotta have to be willing to have the hard conversations. You have to be willing
to step on the, like, she was using the fact that he's a people pleaser to her advantage because he wasn't going to rock the boat and she was going to put up a big fuss if he attempted to. So it was really easy for him not to.
Yeah, she knew back down.
Right.
Like at the first stance of fighting, he would back down.
He would back down. And he would never pull the experts in to have help. He would never, to get some reinforcements, to get some backup with his argument or discussions that he wanted to take place. So here's the thing. Madison now is reaching out to Allan to have a conversation. What's her goal? What's her end goal? I mean, what is she? I feel that she's just trying to save face. Because at this point, you're not in love with David, but you like David. And is Allan wrong for not trying to communicate with her?
For Allan to get over, he gonna have to talk to her.
You think
I don't think Allan is wrong right now. I think what Allan needs to do is, hey, I can't talk to you right now. I'll talk to you on decision day.
I feel like I don't have anything nice to say to you. What we gonna talk about?
Right. Like, you got to let that thing simmer down a little bit, because the first mistake was you didn't come to him. David told him.
She still hasn't come to him.
Right. And at this point, it's like, I'll talk to you when I get ready.
Right.
And she needs to respect it. I didn't like her friend because this was in the same area. I didn't like her friend. Like, when he went in there and burnt up all the pictures, that's just his reaction to what's going on.
I don't want this memory. You can't have it either.
Right. And then she come in there and her friend, like, he went too far. Excuse me? Too far? Like, this girl got into a whole nother relationship and he just burnt the pictures from when, like, a facade that he was in.
And in her letter.
Right. And he talking about too far.
When I heard that, I'm like, he ain't put his hands on her.
Right.
He ain't put his hands on David. He ain't blow nobody up. If this all he does is go home and burn something.
Tore up a book of pictures and burnt one picture and was like, vows, these didn't mean anything. Shred.
She didn't mean this. Fire.
Well, he
broke a mug. Yeah, and he broke a mug.
He didn't go far enough.
Like, I'm just saying, it's like, I didn't like that because I felt like none of her friend definitely didn't hold her accountable for her actions. If you have a friend, you know they're a good friend if they can look you in your face or talk to you on your phone and say, hey, you were wrong. I love you, but you were wrong.
Friend, you shouldn't have done it.
Right.
That should have been,
you should have waited.
A basis But you know that her friend had hung out with David and knew what was going on.
Yeah, but still, regardless of the fact, I would still be like, you're wrong in this situation, and the fact that he only burnt this stuff. Why do you care? You know, you're wrong in the situation. Birds of yep, that's true.
Yeah.
But I was like, man,
We know all of her friends was in on it because that's the majority of who they were hanging out with.
yeah.
Right, because she kept saying our friends. We have me and David, our friends. They have built, like I said, built their whole another family. I don't say family, relationship with friends that they have. They was outside of their spouses.
And then they used Po Carla and her.
Carla was so oblivious to everything.
Carla be in the club like it's a.
You ever seen
what's
one of
the
them
word?
movies? Now,
Like it's
Carla
a
be in
rave.
one of them clubs like
That's exactly what I'm thinking about. It's a rave.
Hey,
And Carla's just in there twirling in the middle, don't know what's going on.
I might tell my age, she out there doing the bat tootsie. Yeah. But speaking of Carla did have fair words for Madison though. We talk about friends being honest or being righteous.
Yes, she said you're grimy.
Yeah. Carla was not having that, boy.
I take my hat off to Carla. Carla's not. I'm not playing this. You messed up the energy in the room. You knew what you was doing. You tried to be a friend. Hey, hats off to Carla for being a real MVP in this episode. For at least sharing her and Juan, because Juan told David the same thing. You wrong.
Yeah.
I can say one thing about Juan and Carla. They gonna let you know. They don't play those games. They gonna let you know what's right.
Man, Juan will ride a fence. I will tell you that. He will say, "Hey, I don't agree with this."
Yeah.
But he will ride a fence. Because he rode the fence when they went to the month of bursary with MM and Ikechi.
Yeah.
Right.
And he attempted to ride the fence at this retreat. But then he was like, I don't know, bro. I like you. That's really messed up.
Yeah. What I appreciate about what Juan and Carla said. Juan was like, man, you make me have to make a decision of who I want to hang out with. And then he was like, how can you trust that y'all relationship is gonna be good? But look at how it started. You know, and then here you got Carla. Oh man, Carla, babe, I gave Carla a standing ovation.
She in the background.
When she talked, when David was leaving and he was talking, I had a good time and all this and all that. And Carla, you just have to see her face. Because she was like,
if she could use the N-word, she'd have been
right. This N-word.
This N-word here.
She probably done pulled another word out of her crystal ball.
Yeah. Man, but it's like, man, you can appreciate a person to sit in your face and tell you that you're wrong. That's grimy, and I don't want to hang out with you.
But she also probably too feels away because Madison was like, why didn't you ask Carla too?
She did. And
Carla's like, I ain't had nothing to do with this.
And I still, and I'm probably wrong, maybe not. But I think Michelle knew something. Because that for me, it's still everything lined up way too easily. You know, for her to be like, yeah, that probably happened. I think Michelle knew something.
She knew David didn't like her and he was spending a lot of time at the gym. He said, I'd be walking on the treadmill for 2 hours. Who spent 2 hours at the gym? He on the treadmill for 2 hours. So you spend all this extra time at the gym, in your apartment gym, not like y'all going to the YMCA, but you're downstairs in your apartment gym. And then they kept playing, Juan would be there, Carla would be there. So they weren't there all the time. Carla, and for y'all to say that this is and the word that they're using, this is a weight room date. All right. Oh, this is my workout date.
Yeah, gym date.
Gym date. You have to be. I tell people all the time, you got to be careful when your husband or your wife come home to my. This is my work wife. This is my work husband.
You do.
Like, what are we doing here? You try to soften the blow? Nah, this ain't your work wife or your work husband. Let him pay some of these work bills then.
Right.
Is he buying lunch?
Everybody getting lunch?
Or y'all two getting lunch?
What's up?
Like when I come, can I get lunch too? Because he's your work. You know what I'm saying? Well, that makes me. You know,
like, come on, man.
These conversations, I'm a firm believer. If you let people talk long enough and you listen long enough, they'll tell you what's going on. David was telling Michelle He was telling Michelle what was going on. Madison was telling Allan what was going on. And they just wasn't picking up on the context clues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the only fault I have with Allan. Michelle didn't care. Listen, like I want people to realize, like she did not care about what this man was doing. She just the whole Inspector Gadget thing at the end. She just wanted vindication that of anything. Like
she wanted him to say it. She knew it. She just needed him to say it, and she needed him to say it in front of everybody because everybody needs to know.
Right.
And it brings embarrassment on him, so it's no reason. So you guys know why I did not choose him on decision day.
Right. Like, but man, the previews seem like they finna fight, and I'm like, what? Like, what's the animosity for? What you mad for?
I missed it.
Madison and Michelle. I'm like, what y'all mad for?
Unless Michelle made a delusion in her head that she really wants David, or somebody told her, say, "Hey, you let the girl take your man." And you know how some people jack your head up, pump your head up, like you let the girl take your man, and she even said, "Man, he was my man anyway," because I was gonna. And I think Michelle's mind, she really was trying.
Yeah,
she knew she was.
She couldn't have thought
she was trying.
In her mind, either she a good liar. In her mind, she thinks she was trying.
No.
Or we about to turn the corner. Turn the corner on what?
Man, she said we talked for 20 minutes, and then what y'all do? Crickets.
Nothing.
Went to their separate rooms. You go to their corner. You go to your corner. You know that was the
thing. Want chicken later. They gotta count for something.
It's like, God, leave, man. I can talk to anybody for 20 minutes if I don't have to talk to him no more.
Real easy.
I think David, we and Jack talked about this, and I want guys in the chat to answer this too. And you guys, is David more in love than Madison? Because Madison seemed like she backtracked a little bit during this episode. Either she lied to us or playing. David was like, I can see myself marrying this girl. And Michelle, like, well, Madison was like, well, we're just getting, I'm not sure where we at yet.
Madison is still playing the game of, we don't even know if we like each other for real. Like, we're just coming to terms with these feelings. And David is like, nah, that's my girl.
That's my girl. David 10 tones down.
Yeah. No, I think the Madison is still in this. I don't want to say everything is, because of for whatever reason. But David's like, ain't no sense of lying now. The only thing I'm gonna lie about is I ain't gonna tell him we had sex. Cause if I tell him that, then I'm really wrong.
I told Jackie, I've never seen a dude get like that about a girl that he didn't smash.
Right.
Never.
Right.
He's fighting for her. He's talking for her. He's involved in his conversations. He's defending every aspect. And you doing all this and you ain't smash?
You doing all this off of conversations on the trail
at the gym.
Come on, man. No, you hit that.
I just thought about something. He might not have. Shut up. He might not have smashed. It might have been some hot Tui stuff going on.
Could be.
I mean, a guy said once in college, oral sex is nothing but sex in the mouth.
They had sex, man.
She's doing something to get his nose wide open because his nose is too wide open for Madison. In these last couple of episodes, he's defending Madison more since the retreat, and more than he ever did Michelle, did anybody. This dude doesn't even let her have a conversation. He can't help her with her bags downstairs, but he can get involved in all her conversation. His nose is like he's very defensive when anybody comes after Madison.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because he can draw the narrative that they didn't do anything wrong. If he keeps her ass free and clear of any wrongdoing, then he too is free and clear of any wrongdoing.
That's just for TV, man. All of that. It's just so, and I don't get it, man. It's like, man, just stand up in what you did. That's the man thing. And I wonder what his dad and his mom has to say about this situation.
And cousin Denise.
And cousin.
I don't really care about cousin Denise's because she's already said she ain't with what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But mom and dad, you know, David's a great guy. David's this, David's that. But mom and dad been married what 30-something years or something like that, and they know what it, the ups and downs of marriages. I wonder what they said to him. Like it's like how serious did they take the process and stuff like that.
My parents would gave me the business, bro.
Yeah, I could see myself as as a dad. If one of my kids did that, I would be like, I would have an issue with it.
Yeah.
My thing would be you couldn't wait
7 days.
That's
Or
it.
8 weeks.
8 weeks.
8 weeks.
2 months.
2 months.
You could
If this is really the person for you, you could have waited.
They've
2 months.
hunched. They've
definitely hunched. Based on
Yeah.
the behavior she displayed on this show, I believe people can change though. So hopefully she sees herself and makes a conscious decision to change for her future relationship.
Yeah.
I mean, they still together, says the internet.
That's it.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, from what I hear, they're still together.
they could be soulmates, man. But I just feel like
But the way it was done, you could be soulmates, but the way that was done. And
Yeah.
speaking of being soulmates, she said she ain't want nobody of color. So what did he do? Was that conversation that great or that good to make her want somebody?
And he broke that back.
I don't even know if that was it because she said she's dated black guys in the past.
But
she's
prefers-
just saying for this experiment,
she wanted
a white guy, and I think that made her feel like it was easier to navigate.
I read between. I'm gonna try to read between the lines. I might be wrong. I can date black guys. I can even chill with them, but I can't marry him. I can't bring him home.
Yeah, I can see that.
I can see that too. Now, I know there's something floating around on the internet that her sister got a guy who looks like David and all that. I get it. I got it. I seen that video. I see a photo too.
Yeah, she does.
She do.
Right.
Yeah, her sister's husband looks like David.
Look like that. Yeah. So again, but in her mind, she like some people feel like I can date whatever, but I can't marry this person.
Yeah,
I think that was her thinking. Like, okay, I've tried these other things. Give me somebody who's Caucasian.
That it still boils down to, I think they have to do some type of premarital counseling. Like like if you get your people that you want to put together, I think you have to sit them down individually and go over ideas of marriage because this doesn't happen.
Not that we.
Yeah. Here's another one about Madison and David is that it takes two to tango, and the way that is revealed to me is what's the heartbreaking thing, because Allan didn't hear from her mouth.
Yeah, that's
and that's the heartbreaking thing. Yeah. And I think the reason that she wants to get in touch with Allan is not to tell him I didn't mean to hurt you. Well, when cheating, somebody's gonna get hurt.
Yeah,
right.
Infidelity, somebody's gonna get hurt, regardless if it comes out after 8 weeks or it comes out in the middle of your relationship. You was married to this man that you found unattractive, or you making a change, and you mess with somebody else.
Made him spend $3,000 on some clothes.
That's why he came back to get his $30 worth of seasons.
Right.
He wasn't paying $3,030.
Right.
And he said, I can't leave my car. I can't leave my car here. We said,
heck no, man. I took the clothes back and bought another camera.
Yeah, man. Anything on Allan, David? I didn't like the scene with Allan and Michelle together.
I didn't like that either.
Made it seem like they was playing up that they might get together. Michelle over there lying, always lying. I need somebody.
What did she say?
She was over there talking about, I knew something was going on. I kind of feel that was Madison. Like,
yeah,
that news your insecurity. Allan was like, I'm stupid. I should have seen it. Like, bruh, like the signs were written there that she was messing with somebody, not necessarily David, but the sign was there. So that scene was there. And then when they talked to Pastor Cal, then Madison again never takes accountability.
She don't have to
take accountability.
She don't have to because her man doing it for her.
You know, take accountability there. Well, let's move on from them. Move on to Thomas and Camille real quick.
Look, I was gonna say that's the whole episode.
I'm gonna say, and they ADT ad.
And the ADT ad, and her keep telling this man that she got some lingerie. Just tell the man you don't want nobody to see you in his lingerie on TV.
Right.
Just tell the man he's already seen you
naked.
naked.
Brought it up again. Because what we keep talking about something that ain't gonna happen for.
And he already saw you naked. He already got the draws.
I was like, ain't y'all already having sex though?
Right. What is the difference between the sex and the sex with the lingerie?
It's coming off anyway.
I'm gonna say either way, you're not gonna have it on.
Anyway, man.
Either way, you're not gonna have it on. I just don't get it.
I don't really have a lot. I like the way that they talked to each other in the bed that morning after they did their ADT sponsorship. I was like, yeah, they're gonna say yes on decision day, based off of that little conversation that they had, because married couples do that. Married couples talk to each other. Do you see that happen?
I mean, it's a train wreck happening around you. I gotta say something,
right?
Jackie hit me. I'd be like, "What?" She's like, "Shh."
Like I'm coming in the room after every conversation I have with Michelle. All right, let me tell you what happened real quick.
Right.
Hold on. Hold
on.
We'll
talk about it later. Hold on. We'll talk about it later. Shh. Don't look at me too hard because I'm gonna laugh. Right? I'm gonna laugh. And stuff that happened right that funny, I'd have laughed.
Oh man, me too.
I'm sitting back looking like, you see this fool right here? Did what? He slept with
all you see, if me and Artika ain't sitting next to each other, all you gotta do is look at our eyes. Our eyes tell the whole story.
Because if I'm texting him from across the room, I'm waiting on a response like this.
Me and Jackie could be in a 3,000-foot building with 30,000 people.
Yeah.
And we could be in an arena. We could be at a conference. And we probably both see the same funny thing happen at one same time. And I look down, text message, or I look over and see her in a crowd room of people, and she be like, "Do you see that?" Without no communication.
It's just a whole lot of "Yep, I saw it too."
Yep.
We'll talk about it later. As soon as you get in the car, we meet up. So I think they're gonna say, I think we match up. Carla and Juan, and they just, we already talked about them.
I honestly think
they could be great friends.
They could be great friends, but I think this situation between David, Allan, Madison, and Michelle, I think this brings them closer. Not enough to say yes. I still don't think they're gonna say yes, but I think this brings them closer to each other, to kind of, be on the brink of things. Like if this happens 2-3 weeks ago, their trajectory of relationship changes.
Yeah.
That's what I personally think. But I think this situation is actually gonna bring them closer.
I can see that, but I think they're gonna say no.
Yeah.
I just pulled up our notes from when we initially said this. You called Thomas and Camille as a yes.
Yeah.
And then you said no about every other couple.
Yeah. I was right so far.
I said yes about Madison and Allan. Obviously, I was very wrong.
Oh, you was absolutely wrong.
And then I said no about everybody else.
You're absolutely wrong.
They said you did wrong. We got it going on. Retake.
But the good thing is nobody was delusional enough to think that MM and EKG.
Oh yeah.
Oh no. Well, speaking of MM and EKG, we get to that whole scene. Your thoughts on that whole scene with MM and EKG and Pastor Cal and the experts?
Why we keep asking this man, do he want to be married?
Yeah.
Like, what do we? Do you just need to hear him say it? He served her a divorce paper.
He served her a piece of paper. We don't know if it was.
Well, she said it was a divorce paper. When she read it, she said it was page 1 of 4. Where's 2 through 4?
I'm glad somebody asked. I think it was Dr. Pepper. What was that? He never answered it, but I'm glad somebody.
No, because MM and her, she cut him off. Shut up. I wanted to hear what he said. I wanted to know his answer. But she cut him off. But
I
Well,
think
we
it
see
was.
also that her call time is always before he is because she's always there and they're waiting on him to arrive
Mhm.
every time.
Make him look late. Makes him like he late every time, dog. They be sitting there.
So with him showing up late, he's automatically not gonna have the upper hand because she gets to have her pleasantries with everybody, and he's just kind of walking in like the man scorn.
What I'm gonna say this because it bothered me this whole season. He enters the room, says hi to the experts, and does not speak to this woman. I don't care how mad you are to a person.
He hate her with his soul.
Man, speak to this woman.
He hate her. He don't like that
Hey,
lady. He does not
let me
like
sit
that
down. Like
lady.
that bothers me so bad, man. And I mean, like, let's look at the situation. That woman ain't never did anything to him.
Allegedly.
They are in a agreed upon marriage until they file the paper. She ain't killed nobody or unalived anybody. Excuse me. She ain't her hands on him or anything
Well, he
like that.
did say that. He said that she be touching him in his genital region, and he
Yeah, but
don't
that's
like
after.
it.
I don't think she did anything to him to not be able to say, "Hey," acknowledge that she's a human being sitting there. That bothers me. I'm sorry. You walk in the room, you see me sitting there. I'm gonna speak to you. You speak to me.
I know that they're not gonna do it well, but I just wish somebody would ask the real questions when they get ready to have this
Oh, I hope so.
reunion.
I hope so, man. Because I mean, like it's the dumbest thing in the world. He never explained truly what the issue was, so I'm still confused. If one of y'all know, please let me
He
know.
don't know.
Um, he served her a divorce paper. Like, look at the paper. You wasted gas and time. Um,
He probably spent more time waiting to get mic'd up than he was in that house.
I felt like her note was corny. Like to
Why'd
be,
you feel like it was
I
corny?
felt like it was corny because it was like you trying to. I don't get your point. Like saying here's counselors here that you can go, you can
You
talk
need
to.
him.
Like saying all that, yeah, you know. It's like I don't know. It's just corny because I would be like, yeah, I just need to get divorced and move on, and that's the last I would talk to you about. You need help.
There's some things that I feel like I need to say to you. And so I'm going to get it all out because at this point, he's just kind of, I don't even know. Like he's in this like fuzzy gray area of he don't say anything. You don't really know how he feels about
Hmm.
anything because anytime he's asked a like very direct question, he don't answer it.
Yeah.
So it's like you need help, bro.
Right.
Let me explain to you here's a list of some therapists that you should be able to talk to because you need help.
Yeah.
Like, and also you tried it with this divorce. Let me show you how it's really done.
Yeah. It's like what y'all call it, reading.
Yes, that's what they call
She read him, and I was like,
it. You had to do the head shake
you
too.
didn't have to do. Yeah, I mean, like I get it. I get why you did it, but it's like,
Yeah, she had to say what she had to say because there has not been a time this season where she has been able to say anything to him. Because remember when she tried to approach him about what was it? Was it when he left and went to Houston, or was it after he called her an a-hole? Can't remember which one it was. But they
It
were
was
sitting.
after he called it. It was after she called him a hole.
It was like they were sitting down in the apartment,
Yeah, the
and
a-hole.
he was like, "We not gonna talk about none of that." And she's just been sweeping all of this stuff,
yeah,
all of his bad behaviors under the rug, and she just had to get it out. And by the way, you need counseling. I
yeah.
heard you got United Healthcare. Here's some people that'll work.
Yeah. I see y'all point, but it's like it still was like you could have saved
I
it.
can't believe Mr. and another
I'm
thing
gonna
feel
tell
like
you.
somebody shouldn't say
No,
something.
I'm gonna tell you.
That's what she
I
did.
think I think what I feel like was the corny part was the paper the letter she wrote.
Oh, she wrote it to make sure she didn't miss anything.
But I would say what I need to.
But you know how you
Say.
forget stuff, and then you want to go back and tell the person that again.
That makes me feel better.
That's
And
what her
another
letter was.
And another thing,
she's not gonna have the opportunity to go back and another thing him. This is their last interaction.
Oh, I got you.
We don't need to have another thing. So I'm gonna write it all down, make sure I get it all off my chest. That's why it's a letter to her departed. After this, we depart.
Yeah, I got you. I hear you.
We done.
I hear you.
Did you enjoy? Was she too petty, right? And the petties, I get. She wanted to get her lick back. She wanted to make sure. I thought she also did it because it was a safe zone because all the account experts was there, and she knew that she could come off to him. Now, one thing she could give him information of that way that she felt, right? Even the letter, the point that I thought was like, if you here's the letter to lawyers, if you want to get the divorce paper, this is how to file a divorce. Now that was real petty. Like if you want to file a divorce, this is how. I thought she could. I mean, to me, I thought the letter was fine. It's therapeutic. Get it off your chest. Tell them how you really feel. I don't think she got the response she wanted. Yeah, because and I'm gonna say it in his wrestling term. He like no sold it. He got up and got mad, right? But he didn't come back like she wanted him to come back. Yeah, he got up and just
come back.
He couldn't come back. Like you just have to sit there and take it. And all right, you said what you needed to say. All right. Me on the other hand, I'd have said something.
And Tommy would have tried to send a text message 2 weeks later to finish out the thought that he forgot because he didn't write anything down. But at that point, you're blocked.
I mean, it don't matter. I said what I had to say.
And I say petty because
you had more you wanted to say.
Wait till I see you again.
I say petty not because of the comments that was initiated. It was so much deeper that she could have did in the letter, right? Mm-hmm. Because there's questions like, why did you come after me like that, right? Is there some, why did you come to me? Why did you call me aggressive? Why you try to attack my character and say that I essayed you, right? Because that's what he said.
That's what I think would have been better.
That's the things like I need to know, and that's why I'm looking at. I want to know the answers. Why would you do this to me, a African American woman, and on national television? You put me out there like I'm a predator. Mm-hmm. You said you care about me, and you're putting me. I think her letter could have been more intentional about the answers that she wanted, more so than being taking shots at. I don't want to say petty, taking shots at him. Like, give me the answers I need.
At this point, she knew she wasn't going to get a response for any of it because he spent 7 weeks not responding. Yeah. In front of the experts, because they've seen the experts more than any other couple.
They have. Separately and together. Mm-hmm. I think Rose said it best. What? Of what I was trying to say. It was dramatic and corny, but, glad that she had her moment. Thank you, Rose.
But Jay Sim said this. I know MM9 is Nigerian. I'm surprised she let it go this far, because most Nigerians I know, from the get-go, from the first instance that he called her an a-hole, the rest of his life would have been miserable.
She called him. She said on the Joker suit.
Right. But no, it would have been much more than that, though. See, I think she was trying to keep herself for TV and composure, because I always go back to what her friends said before all this happened. Like there's another side to her. Mm-hmm. And I think he kept pushing that button. And I'm not knocking, because when you push the bear long enough and you keep poking it and you keep poking it and keep poking it, it's going to bite you. It's going to come after you.
Mystical said, you see him fighting the bear, help the bear.
Help the bear. Right? But I think the key to this was what she said at the end. And this was a shot not at Akechi. I had to watch it several times. This was a shot at the experts when she said somebody had to tell him. Like, y'all not saying there's nothing to him. Y'all ain't telling him. Somebody had to do it. She's like, somebody had to do it.
Now, they were very much so fans of, okay, so you guys are starting over again.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. I didn't understand their whole, we're all looking at the same thing. Right. They have more insight than we have. Mm-hmm. I didn't understand the start over for the 4th time. They started over like 5 or 6 times, didn't they?
We only got 8 weeks. We got one good do-over in 8 weeks.
Right. Y'all on the 3rd and 4th.
And it's not do-over. After you call me an a-hole. Like, we're done.
Yeah. Totally done.
Right. It's like like I get it from a standpoint of this is a TV show and you got to finish out the TV show as best as you can, but at some point you have to stop saying that it's almost as if somebody was being abused physically, that they would be like, well, you can try it again. Like, no, you can't. This is not what we need to do. You know, um, it reminds me of the time because one of the experts in the I don't know why we've talked about this a lot. One of the experts in the previous seasons ended up marrying one of the contestants.
Mm-hmm.
She immediately got off the show. I don't know if she was fired, she quit, but she was off the next season. But she stepped in because the person they matched him with talked to him like he was just trash, and she was like, no, I can't take that.
Right.
I don't even know.
In earlier seasons, the experts were more involved. I give you that.
Yeah.
All right. And I think they gave Dr. Pia more involvement this year. I think, isn't she from Chicago or she's based out of Chicago?
Oh, I'm not sure.
But she definitely had
she had more camera time than everybody else. I think they was given the wrong therapist for the wrong job. Right? They kept giving them Dr. Pia for the issue wasn't sexual, right? The issue was much more
issue at all.
No,
right. The issue was other things. So I think they should have given Pastor Cal or Dr. Pepper. Again, another man, because I go back to Atlanta. When Chris was acting up, they sent Pastor Cal in that bad boy.
Mm-hmm.
To have a conversation with Chris. Another black man to a black man, right? Another man to a man, whatever way you want to call it. I didn't see, because in case he didn't respect, to me, he didn't respect women.
Yeah, I got that feeling too.
I got that too. He didn't respect women. He didn't hold women being respectful. Anytime you go back to your point, Tommy, when you can walk into a room and don't speak, right? When you come in there and thinking she is less, or you wanted somebody who was less than you didn't respect her position, you didn't respect her authority, you didn't respect what she had, right? You wanted her, you didn't want her to question you. What you mean? Well, how else we gonna get to know each other if I don't ask questions?
Anything like that was bothersome to me. I can't ask you anything. I can't say anything to you. Everything comes off as aggressive, and then we just supposed to act like you didn't say mean, hurtful things to me, and I'm just supposed to get over it.
Yeah,
because you the man.
Nah. It sounded like he was like, just get your space. Like it sounded like he was saying, fall in line. You supposed to come behind me. Yeah. That's what it sounded like.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. It's when you looking at the whole totality of their relationship, it's like you're saying, y'all watching this, y'all see how he's treating this woman and not giving y'all any type of answers when you ask him questions.
Yeah.
Like, what are we? At one point, I think Dr. Peel did ask, why are you wanting this so bad? And even with that answer, I'm like, you have to look at the whole relationship, because she was like, I want to be married, or I came here to be married, or something like. I'm like, baby, you still got to make a decision at the end of 8 weeks.
There's a lot of people out here that you could be married to, girl. Your DM is gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude right here is not for you, right? I would rather for MM to walk away, right?
Yeah.
To me, it seemed like she was, and I don't want to offend nobody. Jack can't hear. So it seemed like she was desperate.
It does.
It seemed like she was desperate.
The name of the game for this show.
It is.
You have to be desperate to be like, I don't know you, but I want you to pick my husband for me, and we got to figure it out and leave it up to y'all to help counsel us through it.
Based on the answers and the things that I say I will do.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I'm already thinking of my best self when I'm answering these questions, because let's just keep it real. That's what we do when we answer questionnaires.
Yeah.
We think of us on our best days, being our best selves.
Yep. And she said it on it. She said it when they was talking together. If we was dating, he wouldn't have got a second date. Well, if he wouldn't have gotten a second date, why you keep giving him a second
marriage?
Because she married.
But why don't you tell the experts? You got a voice. Tell Dr. P, look, stop throwing this marriage stuff at me, because I ain't gonna be married to him, right?
Yeah.
Pastor Cal, look, I know what y'all saying, but I'm better than this. Don't treat me like this. Like, he's not gonna treat me like this, and you expect us to be married. Like, no, we're not working this thing out. He ain't willing to work. I ain't willing to work. So let's
I
let
just
it
want
rock.
everybody to be honest when they sat down and met with the experts, because neither one of them was honest.
Right.
Like, as bad as he was, neither of them was honest.
Neither one of them were honest.
Yeah, we can start over again. No, you don't like her. You said y'all can start over again and then serve her with a divorce paper within like what, 48 hours?
48 hours. After y'all play video games together.
Yeah. The video game thing was weird.
Yeah, and his explanation of it was weird too.
I was just trying to get out of this conversation. So you say, let's go do something with somebody that you don't like? No, this is all weird.
It's all weird.
But it's a level of desperation. And I have to call it that, because there's no way that somebody will be just randomly setting me up with a person and saying, by the way, the day after y'all meet, y'all go sign a marriage license. No. I don't know you.
It's definitely desperation, man. And you know, it's sad for both of them, for her to act the way she acted in this relationship. I'm not talking about the letter. I'm talking about the relationship in general.
Yeah.
And it's sad for the way he acted, putting his butt on his back, feeling entitled, a little bit sassy. You name it. That was him. I just want to be. What does that mean? You talking code, right? People don't understand code. Like, be on. I like men to be honest, right? To be upfront. Be a man. Hey, I don't like you because, or the way that you treat me is making me feel this way. You talk the first time the woman find out that she was too aggressive is when she with her friends. That's not the place for her to find out. The place for her to find out is when it happens, or in the day is like, hey, by the way, I don't want to have sex with you, man. Let's work on our relationship. And the way that you're coming off to me, it's kind of scaring me a little bit. I like to build on our relationship more. There's different ways he could have a conversation, but I know he's not a great communicator. But my question, I have many questions. You're a counselor with kids. You talk to these people all day. How you not be a good communicator?
Right. You have to be a better communicator because you got to get the message to kids.
You can't even tell me what I did.
Right. That's the thing that bothers me the most about EK is that she's the bad person, but you can't say specifically what happened, and we can't figure this thing out.
I do think that it needs to be more in the moment, like conversations. If you're gonna call yourself the expert and I'm here for you at any time, it needs to be more in the moment things. We need to be able to break out an iPad and talk to you. But or you coming by, like with Dr. Pia being in Chicago, it should have been easier. But it also needs to be sit down in conversations and hold people to the fire when they make blanket statements. Like, you're saying that she's aggressive. Tell her why she's aggressive and stop talking in circles.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that's what he spent a lot of time doing, was just talking in circles and making up stuff.
Because when he said when they was it was just him, her, and Dr. Pia, and he was like, well, I don't want to talk about it because
we said that we would make each other look bad on camera. No, you look a fool.
You look
you're doing a great job yourself.
You gotta be straight up and you gotta say what you need to say, man. Because that ain't making sense. Like, what you're saying is not making sense, and somebody needs to say that doesn't make sense. What happened? What's going on? Why you feel like she's this way? And because it shouldn't be. She should be able to say, oh, okay, I remember that situation. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay, that's what you mean.
Well, and that's what she said. Like, she herself was like, I didn't do anything wrong. So tell me.
Right.
I'm thinking that nothing happened that should have been a glaring flag for me. Help me out.
And then to set her up to look like a predator on TV, I'm like, bro, if you don't want her to touch you, openly say that.
Yeah.
Don't be like, no, don't touch me. No, say what you mean to say. and I'm pretty sure
Say
she
it
gets
with
the
your
picture.
chest.
Say it with your chest, your whole chest.
Right, because I feel like if you talk in circles with something, with a situation, and the message doesn't get there, now you look a fool.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because you
Absolutely.
said what you needed to say, but you never said the message that you're trying to relay to get out. So, man, that whole situation bothered me this whole season. I'm glad we finally got to a decision day for them, and yeah,
The funny thing is that it's just coming literally one episode before everybody else's
right.
decision day.
You knew we
Right.
had an issue. You knew we had an issue because the guys didn't fool with him, and he didn't fool
Yeah.
with the guys. We knew something was wrong with him because usually guys are like the guys on the show. This is the first time I seen the girls not all just be,
But that's
100.
because one of them
Yeah,
is a
right.
liar
This is the first time
and a
we've seen
cheater.
that too. But usually the guys can always be behind the guys, and
Right. The
all
guy's
of
always
them was
supposed
like,
Well, nah, because Chris season they weren't behind.
well, yeah,
Chris.
but he still had Vincent. He still had Vince, and he still
yeah,
had
that's
somebody
what it
else.
was. It was somebody was still like all the guys was like, it's us, and then there's Ikechi.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah, all the guys. were there.
I think Thomas said something about about Ikechi always coming around. It was somebody. He was like when he came around, he always tried to give advice,
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah,
but never would talk about his things.
Yeah, they don't want to rock with Akechi at all.
Yeah.
Because he didn't seem like he was around anybody. Like his stuff was so busy, right? Or he was so busy that he couldn't be with the group. Or when he
I'm
showed
just
up,
trying to
he
figure out
was-
what you doing as a college counselor for kids
Man,
that got you so tired and exhausted and out of it.
he was here for the publicity
Yo,
because
he was trying to get his book. He was trying to get his book off. He was trying to play.
So did his book come out while the season was going?
No, his book was already out.
Oh,
Yeah.
so book is out. He's a social media. He has a social media presence.
And you can't have a social media presence when you're doing Married at First Sight because they have you lock down your profiles.
Yeah. So it's like, man, he's doing all this and all that. I'm pretty sure people have gone to his profile.
He probably stressed.
He's
And
stressed.
took his money.
I
He's
need
getting
peace.
paid off
I need
IG. Now he ain't getting paid off
I need
IG.
peace in this house.
right.
He needs some peace in his house.
Married at First Sight and acted a fool, man. But it's all a publicity stunt to me. You know.
But I don't think he's gonna be able to turn this around. He gonna probably link up with Derek Jackson and they gonna go on a tour.
Derek Jackson did a video about him.
Yeah, because he was never locked in. That's the problem. I think was committed to the process, and I can say that about Allan. They was committed to the process, but their spouses were never locked in.
How can you fault a person who's committed to doing what the show says do?
I can't fault them for being the rule. I mean, for rule, the rules are rules, but I can't fault. I know the rules of the show, but my humanality and my human nature and who I am as a human person has to go against. They told me not to leave or put hands on you, but guess what? You're not going. Certain things you're not going to do, and certain things I'm not going to tolerate when it comes to me as a human being. You're not going to talk to me any type of way. You're not going to talk crazy to me. We can have a discussion. We can even disagree.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some rules to disagreement. There's some rules to this engagement. What you're not going to do on national TV, call me out my name. Mm-hmm. You're not going to say I'm aggressive. You're not going to say I'm an a-hole. You're not. You see what I'm saying? These things where he wouldn't have did that to Hurricane K because Michaela would have got up. You know what I'm saying?
That would have went upside his head. He ran through that retreat house.
That's funny.
Oh yeah, I saw that. You can't review the book now unless you actually have purchased it.
Up there?
Yeah, all the reviews are.
Oh yeah, he went down. He got like a 1 star, like it's a half a star.
I want to see it. What's the name of the book, man?
Oh no, it's a half a star. So you have to buy it. But again, it becomes that situation. Like again, I don't give him a pass because he was ignorant. The way that he treated her was wrong. Don't give her a pass because she stayed in it. Even though it was Married on First Sight, we've seen many people go live home.
Yeah.
And just film.
I'm sorry. I think I would have just stayed at the place because everybody else is there. I'm finna go hang out with them.
But you can't hang out with David. You can't hang out with David and Madison.
I hang out with David and Madison.
They hang out by themselves.
Said in the beginning, he wasn't there to make friends. He also wasn't there to get a wife. I just sent you the link to the book. It's got 1.5 stars.
Yeah, 1.5 stars.
That's hilarious.
And the rest of his family was the one to give them. Stop.
He started calling people like, bruh, just review the book for me. Fix it.
Buy the book for me, man.
Yeah. I know, Ron, I agree. We can say what we wouldn't do. There's some things when I say wouldn't do, there's some standards I just have. I have some non-negotiables. I'm sorry. In relationships, I think you should have non-negotiables. Non-negotiable. You can't don't put hands on me. You can say what you want. You're not gonna don't put hands on me. I don't put hands on you. There's some non-negotiables. Me and Jack talk about it. We have rules when we argue. There's rules to engagement, right? There's things that we have put in place. That when we have a rule to engagement, we're gonna sit and have a conversation. We're not gonna fuss each other. We're not gonna cuss at each other. We'll be mad. We're not gonna leave the house. We're gonna stay in the house and try to work this thing out. If she say, yo, give me 24 hours, guess what? I'm gonna wait 24 hours. All right, give me 20 minutes. I need to get myself together. Hold on for a minute. Same vice versa. So I think in relationships, you gotta have rules of engagement in order to make a better relationship.
Yeah.
Hold on.
It goes back to setting those boundaries.
Yeah.
What was you about to say?
I was gonna say something stupid about this. You have to buy this book to review it.
You can set it when people start getting a whole bunch of negative reviews and Amazon flags it as you don't know anything about this product.
Yeah.
They can shut it down for you reviewing it unless you have purchased it, because Amazon knows if you've purchased it because you purchased it through them.
Yeah. And a lot of these people just reviewing the book, or they ain't even reviewing the book. They're saying you garbage, he's trash. I wouldn't buy this. This is a whole bunch of stuff going on.
Aggressively sassy. Anyway, I'm off that.
Yo, man, any other comments, man? Anything that we missed, guys, in the chat? There's something we missed that you want to talk about? Drop it in the chat. Tommy Artiga, anything we missed on this episode? I am looking forward to the next episode because Madison comes in with her. She comes in like ready, like she ready to go now. She regrouped, got her man, and she in.
Yeah. Nobody has a sharp enough tongue to maybe MM would to like stop her in her tracks about the things that she's trying to say, because it's so easy to catch her in a lie. I don't understand why people aren't just doing it. It's easy to catch most of this cast in a lie.
If she can't say honestly that they didn't have sex, she ain't got nothing to say.
She can't got nothing to say.
I'd be like, prove it.
Because that'll be the first the only thing I like the reaction that she gave to whatever Michelle said to her, because I'm on that confrontation. But I'm also waiting for Allan's confrontation. Like that's what I'm looking forward to, is what Allan gonna do, because Allan has a sharp tongue too.
Right.
I don't think
he has it, but y'all.
I guess it has to activate when upset. Yeah. We ain't seen him upset yet. Yeah, right. Like not to activate a sharp tongue.
Right. When the twin powers activate.
Right. Exactly. No, I think Allan is a very intelligent. We understand that he's a very intelligent person and very aware of the situation. But it's like anger sets in too, so you can like anybody, man. They want to hurt.
Yeah, you get clouded. He get clouded, and he get clouded. But I think by this point, I don't know. He's still. I do know, like you said, Tommy. I do know they need to have a conversation. Whether this the night for it or not, I don't know. But they do still need to have a conversation.
Do they still go to decision day?
They should. They probably will.
See, that's Artiga. That's a good question. I need to know. Ain't no point for us to see a David and Michelle decision day. There's no point for us to see a Madison and Allan decision day. The only decision day we need to see is Carla and Juan and Thomas and Camille.
But they gotta make a show. Because think about it too. We see Michelle and David. This will be the first time we see them sit down with each other since this whole situation happened. Yeah, they're gonna be mad at each other, but they have questions to answer with them.
And you can't be upset by any questions that anybody asks.
Right.
Because you came to us with this.
Right. And then of course, Madison and David, not Madison and David, but the Madison and Allan, we're gonna people are going to tune in to see that. It's gonna make great TV. So
I choose David. I choose Madison. Well, they're not on the couch right now. Who tell me?
Right. They gonna come in. They gonna say, "We understand what your decision is."
But let's talk about it.
Because
how do we get here?
Right. That's what's gonna happen. Because we had they brought people that quit earlier.
Did they?
I think so.
Yeah, they have. They have.
So
Yeah, we'll see, man.
yeah, we could definitely gonna see. I be liking Sundays because I know Tuesday is tomorrow after tomorrow.
And with that being said,
I ain't gonna mess with you like this.
It's true though. It's true.
Oh man. Hey man, what y'all got brewing?
Man, everything, man. Everything and nothing all at the same time. It's almost growing season.
Black History Fact.
Black History Fact, which I need to record some more. I got one more week, man, and we'll be out of here with the Black History
Man.
Facts.
I don't know if we're gonna get a garden at the Ray Quad tearing up my stuff.
Love Brew podcast on Saturdays. This past Saturday, what did we talk about yesterday?
The lady with no hand.
Lady with no hand. Real quick, man. Let me ask you: if you're like think about it, you're dating somebody, you met them on the internet, they never took a picture of the rest of their body, or you never seen.
They never sent you a full body photo.
You get on your first date and you find out this person is missing a hand. Should you have been told that before y'all went on y'all date, or is that okay?
I think so. I think me personally, I ask the questions. I want to see cameras on. All right. I'm not one of these people who date people on the internet, and well, I don't date anybody on the internet. I never dated on the internet, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah. I wouldn't with so much stuff going on. I'm the type of person I need to see everything. One, I want to make sure I'm not being catfish, right? I want to make sure you got all those body. Give me the options to say no. I've always been at. Now we can still have dinner. You might be a sweet person, but give me an opportunity to let me know if I'm gonna sign up for that or not.
Yeah, right. That's the same thing I said.
That's like, all I need. All I need to know. Be honest with me.
Okay, so my question is, how does a person tell you that in conversation? Because if you be like, I'm a FaceTime you, they might not, like, they might just like have the camera right here where you can see, but you can't see this hand. Like
you be like, hey, by the way, I have a disability.
Yeah, I think you just say it.
But by way of a disability, I got a friend of mine. He was military thing. He has one leg. Right. So again, I think he leads on. He's married now, but I think he leads with like, hey, by the way, So give me the ability to say, hey, if I got a mental condition, hey, by the way, I got Tourette's. I mean, I'm just using for example. Or I have this going on with me, or by the way, I suffer from same thing I feel with people who has PTSD. Let me know, because we out somewhere and we having a dinner and you hear car backfire, you hit the ground. I want to know, or we're in places where they loud noises. So what if it's the guy? What if her disability? He wanted to go out on a date, but her disability wasn't. He planned a date, but the her disability wouldn't allow them to go there or do whatever it needed to be.
Right.
Hope he didn't pay in advance.
Like if they went bowling and she was like right-handed.
You can bowl with your other hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess you're right. Anyway, but yeah, so that's what we talked about yesterday, man. That was one of them. What else we got, man? That's pretty much it. Women's Month coming up, and
Artika's life is a masterpiece of minimalism.
Yeah, so we're gonna see what Artika do.
Got you, man. Hey,
Lisa's book club.
Yeah, it's Lisa's
book club.
March 1st, Saturday.
It's this Saturday. If you have not read the book, please sign up. Please do so. The book is pretty good. I finished it.
I did too.
Artika finished it as well. Join us for the book club with Talisa, right? Talisa Ray. So keep her book. If you haven't joined the book club, you want to know, just message one of us. We're seeing the link to sign up for the book club. But do so. It's gonna be good. The book, all her secrets.
And it was some secrets.
It was a good book. I listened to all 11 hours on it. If you get it on Audible.
I did too.
Yeah, so it's pretty good.
It was my version of a podcast.
Yeah. Hey, check that out. Again, Jackie Glenn, dropped My Love Is Blind. Episodes. Got a couple more to do. On episode 8, gonna be dropped later on the day. Episode 9 might get out today or tomorrow morning. Check out Ready to Love. Hit that up on Friday, so you can check out a lot of stuff that we've done. We appreciate you for joining us, rocking with us each and every week, talking about Married at First Sight. We're coming back next week, y'all. I think we moved back to the 6 o'clock schedule. Had to be changed a little bit today, but 6 o'clock next week. It is a lot going on in Married at First Sight. I'm interested to see, but we still got like 5 more episodes left, believe it or not. So there's like 4 more episodes. You got Decision Day this week. Then you got the more Reunion Day. It's more information, right? Where are they now? Type stuff. So hey, we'll be interested to see. Thanks for rocking with us. We appreciate you guys. Hey, have a great week. Stay safe, and we talk to you later.
Bye, y'all.
Peace.